Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Once again, I'm Neff from NASDAQ Bits, otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. Don't worry, ma'am, I am from the internet. Today we're checking out March 1987, Pop Mech. That's right, flat out on America's fastest cars. Starting out strong with an advertisement for the Ford Tempo. Really taking us back to the 80s with the mundane advertisements. I swear, this guy had commercials where he was in that thing and he was knocking on people's doors and stuff. Actually, a 1987 Ford pickup would be about the thing that I would want myself. I don't have a lot of trust in the newer stuff these days. Now, someone might need to tell me. I remember hearing in the 70s that the frames for some of these trucks, they started manufacturing them with holes in the frames because they wanted them lighter or something like that. Were they still doing that in this situation? And I wonder how much aluminum was actually in these units. Now, when I worked in auto parts, we made aluminum arms for the wheels in here, and yeah, those things were pretty light, all things considered, for how much weight they had. But aluminum will like burn, right? Oh, you know these guys are so cool that they smoke cool cigarettes because they're cool people. If you want to be cool, you have to smoke the cool people cigarettes. High-tech cattle machine. Seriously though, what farm isn't high-tech these days? I mean, the milking units are definitely night and day different. You're not just splashing this stuff into a pan these days. Time is ticking on your rebates, son. Remember when rebates were a big deal? You got the thing thinking you get the rebate. You probably didn't send the rebate off, or if you did, you probably had to fight for it. Pepperidge Farm remembers. I'll tell you what, Bobby, why would anyone want to do drugs when they could just mow the lawn? Oh, geez, they were pretty serious about this. I never even heard of the snapper before this one, I think. No, I must have, because I recognize this guy from somewhere. Here we got Joe Camel enjoying the cigarette. Do people even know how to do this stuff these days? So I'm in an old Victorian home, and yeah, mortar and brick will come out. I'm lucky, the place was well built and we had yellow brick. Apparently red brick don't last quite so well. And you gotta be sure that your mortar is a better quality than the brick because, or is it the other way around? Ah, forget it. I'm lost now. But anyways, in New York, maybe even in London, we have a problem with chimneys just kind of coming off and the brick falling right down. So going gray and going bald is a big problem to many men, and I kind of always wondered why. But these days we have something new to worry about, men. We can't be short either. I know good women that laugh at short men, and I don't understand why, because you can't measure the contents of someone's character by their hair or by their height, right? Geez, this is interesting. In Isuzu, someone told me that they stopped making cars in the 90s or something like that. Uh, so we're probably at about the point where these things don't really exist anymore. And if they exist, they are in landfills, scrapyards. It's not as if they were collectible, they're utilitarian, right? AC Delco selling DC spark plugs. I mean, your grandpa would use it, so. Oh my goodness, for a sec there, I thought he would. Oh, he's gonna load it into his gun. America. Oh, snap, what a big deal to have all of these electronics in your car. And these days, your car pretty much just comes with all of those things, right? The Honda Civic Wagon. No problem, folks. Take a look at that. Maybe it's because I'm such a mainlander, but I don't know too many people that have boats. Maybe this is for folks over in California. Now, if you're in London, Ontario, you go to Sauble, Grand Bend, you go to different beaches. If you go to Guelph, if you live in Guelph, it's like you don't go anywhere. Nobody in Guelph goes anywhere. But if you live in Toronto, you cross, even though you have Lake Ontario right there, you cross all of Ontario's Wang just to get to the other one. Computer color matching system. It still doesn't work. Holy snap, no, I had one of those once upon a time. I got to take it apart down to nothing and I loved it. Those alternate screens could be really good on energy. That tiger looks like he's seen some stuff. You'll notice at the bottom it says it's an IBM clone, so that means it's IBM compatible. Once again, many, many courses you can take out of a book. We don't have these things anymore, but they would ship you the coolest stuff and then you could go through it and build it on your own. Finally, an 8-hour tape. Uh-huh, and it probably looks frickin' horrible. Remember when these weather vanes were all over the place? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Toyota trucks. Mm-hmm. Cute. Here we have the Chevy Callaway versus the Buick Regal. Gotta say, I love the look of the Buick Regal. Like, I love the look of both of them. But something about the subtle. I've always wanted a bit of a sleeper car that looks like crud. Oh, you know what I want? I want a Chevette with a damn powerful engine. I want people to laugh at me when they see me coming and then cry as they see me peeling away. Camera safari, lions and tigers and bears, oh my. Is he actually there with them? No, they must have cut that out. Buddy here looks like he wants to square up, eh? Confessions of a Junkyard Junkie. Swear to God, back in the day, it was a lot easier to get car parts in order to make a jalopy, make something horrible that you could push to work and push to school. In my area, we used to have these demolition derbies quite a bit, but we had to cut back because no one can get the vehicles and the insurance is too much. This is heresy these days. You could never get away with having so much raw information. No, you gotta keep those between copyrights. This is just so sexy. The schematics. Just beautiful. Dang. I want one of those for the pond out back. I heard of a dude that was a millionaire and he wanted to get a boat and his wife was like, alright. And then he went and he got this boat that was so big that he had to have a captain to pilot it around. And that was like the moment that his wife was like, nope, we're done. We're done. Suddenly I see why people like boating. Suddenly it all makes sense. Look at all the cool giblets and knobs you get to play with. What are you doing? Is there something behind her? She's hiding something. I know, but man, you're not allowed to. No one but me is allowed to. Get some clothes on. Is that OSHA violation? Okay, now that there aren't any women watching. Damn, nice, huh? Legit, look at all this boating tech I never get to play with because I don't have one. This is the kind of stuff I want to play with. And here we have an advertisement for the Army National Guard. A little bit of training, a little bit of face paint, make you look real crazy. Once again, we have a wood pile. If you want to find a machine spirit, you just find one of these giant grandfather clock wood pile looking things, and yeah. Oh, that reminds me, something sad I heard on Reddit. A guy said that if they needed to move a grandfather clock or an organ, they just threw it out because there's nobody wants them. But like grandfather clocks, there's so much beauty to them. There's so much, just not only the fact they are a grandfather clock, but a lot of the time, I've just known so many grandfather clocks to be made by an individual who loved clocks. So it's almost like seeing someone's collection or someone's baby being thrown out. You wouldn't throw out a car. I'm getting too emotional. This is interesting. They're talking about how they've managed to make the Concorde jet very quiet, but we stopped using these things because there was a situation where a jet caught fire on takeoff and landed on a hotel. I mean, out of all of the places it could have landed, it had to land on a freaking hotel. What are the odds? And it turned out what it was just a little piece of aluminum strip that had been on the runway. It got caught by the wheel. The strip hit the gas tank, and the reverberation of that strike is what made the gas catch fire light, ultimately. I remember hearing such good things about the Concorde. Apparently you could go from one place to another place and save time. I mean, you'd be there earlier. Alright, this one's for the hardware heads. Let's take a look. The solar battery charger. Okay, so that's just a solar panel. Back up. That's interesting. It says the solar cell battery charger will not charge a dead battery. I wonder why they said that. You can tell that this is more in the 80s and not the 50s because Buddy here's using personal protective equipment. That looks like somebody's boss after he's done with their wife. Army Reserves Officers Training. Look how kissy poo huggy bear dainty that guy looks. My grade point average jumped from 2.6 to 3.4 since Army. This guy's never seen Army. This guy looks like a guy that would just do good on a picture for it.
He's so cute, Grim. He's just gonna pinch his cheeks just like that. We're gonna send him off to basic training, and
He's gonna be a real man. Get some hair on those chests and muscles on those muscles. Boy, I tell you what, Bobby. Huh. Okay, Toyota, what's up with what? Uh, I don't know. After learning about the legend of the circle jerk, I don't think I care to partake in anything quite so. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. Neff from Nest Hack. Like and subscribe if you like the stuff. It's always appreciated. And as always, folks, take care of each other, will you?